Hi, my name is Carolyn Gilmore from Exquisite Tax Service. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to the video. I'm gonna just jump right in. I will be talking about the child independent care expense today. A lot of my clients have sent me this flyer that's been going around on Facebook. And it says, I'm going to read it to you. It says, tax tip, child independent care tax credit. Did you spend money on child care? You can claim $8,000 for one child, $16,000 for two or more children, receive a 50% refund, meaning $4,000 for one child and $8,000 for two. All right, it goes on, but a lot of people have been asking me, so I'm going to address that issue, okay? Child independent care expenses, okay? Even though the credit says 50% of $16,000 for one or two children, we all have common sense, you guys. So it's humanly impossible for you to make $16,000 and then spend $16,000. 16 minus 16 equals 0. It does not add up, okay? So I want you guys to be informed and have the right expectations for this child independent care expenses. I don't want you guys to start doing fraudulent stuff. Get yourself set up for an audit, okay? So just be mindful about this child independent care expense. It has not just come around. I use this on my clients quite often. Usually it caps out at 35%. This year, rumor has it that it's going to cap out at 50%. So first of all, who is a qualifying person? Because you got to have either a qualifying child or a qualifying dependent, okay? So in order for it to be a child, that child has to be under the age of 13. If they're just a dependent, it could be any age as long as they're disabled. And in order for you to be disabled, that means that you're physically or mentally can't take care of yourself. You can't provide for yourself, or they can't provide for themselves. Also, that dependent must have lived with you for 6 months in order for you to qualify to be a dependent on somebody's return. Now, there were a lot of tax laws that's changed. We know the tax game changes every year, but in 2018, it's set to expire in 2025. Trump came in and he made some changes to the law. The number one change that he did make was your first $20,000 is non-taxable income, okay? So if you make $20,000, you're not taxed. You tax zero, okay? Because that first $20,000 is untaxable. On a side note, which would be another video, a lot of you are wondering, why didn't I receive the unemployment refund that was given out, okay? A lot of you did not receive that refund because you did not qualify it because your taxable income was zero, okay? So just keep that in mind. I'll do a video for that. But you must also have earned income to claim the child independent care expense, okay? So what is earned income? Earned income includes wages, it includes salaries, other taxable compensations, net earnings, strike benefits, disability payments that's reported as wages. You know, some people that's disabled, they get disability, they may be allowed to make a certain amount of money, okay? So if that's the case, then they have earned income once they report the W-2, you know, with their 1099 SSA, okay? Now, on the same token, what is considered not earned income, okay? Foreign income is not earned income. Pensions, annuities, Social Security and railroad retirements, interest and dividends, grants, scholarships, child support, penal institution, money that you made from penal institutions, that is considered not earned income, okay? So I'm going to tell you that again so that you can know. Foreign income, pensions and annuities, scholarships, grants, interest and dividends, child support, unemployment compensation, penal institutional, if you work for, like, you was in jail and you work, that's not considered earned income. On a side note with the unemployment compensation, if you only had income from unemployment, then that is not considered earned income, okay? Now, there's also some things that you should take in consideration with the child independent care expense. Expenses. There are expenses that you may look at as expenses, but in the Internal Revenue eyes, they do not considered an expense for the care of your child or your dependent. And those things are food, lodging, clothing, entertainment, child support. Those are not expenses for care, okay? So, you know, they may garnish your check. They may take out $12,000. That's what you pay the whole year. You can't turn around and file that as an expense. Now, education is not an expense for a child that's above kindergarten grade level. Okay, so if they're kindergarten and below, meaning daycare, they may go to like a little school, like a private school for younger kids. Their expenses are considered expenses because they're under kindergarten level. Now, on another token, if just say for instance you have a 12-year-old that goes to school, and you know they go to school from 8 to 3, well, the expense that occurred before school care or after school care, that's also considered an expense, okay? So it's just only like for grade school from the regular 8 to 3 that is not considered an expense, but anything that you do before or after is considered an expense for a child, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, when you go to file your taxes, you must have the information. Try to have the information that identify the person or the organization. You need their name, address, the identification number. The identification number for a nanny or a babysitter will be their social security number. If it's an organization, it will be their EIN number, okay? So keep that in mind. You must have that when you go to file. Now, if you try your best to get this information, the daycare center done closed down, you know, reached out to the provider, please tell your tax preparer to attach a statement and just put your due diligence down, okay? So there's a couple scenarios that I want to give you guys. So say, for instance, you paid $3,000 to a child care provider, but you're on some kind of program that reimburses you, and they reimburse you $2,000. Well, you're not going to claim the whole $3,000 as an expense. You're going to actually claim $1,000 for expense. Another example, if you have a 19-year-old that may take care of their siblings for you, if you're going to claim that child on your tax return, the 19-year-old, then you cannot claim those expenses. However, if the 19-year-old is going to claim their own tax return and not a dependent, then yes, you can claim those expenses, okay? So I just really wanted to make this video short, simple, and to the point. I don't want you guys to be misled, okay? So you may receive a refund on the expense that you paid, but it may not be, most likely it's not going to be the whole $4,000 or the whole $8,000 if you got 2 kids, because there's a lot of situations, scenarios that you got to keep in consideration, and one of them is the tax bracket that you fall in, okay? So if you make $16,000, then there's no way that you can pay $16,000 in child care, okay? So there's no way that you're going to get $8,000 for 2 kids, okay? If you made $20,000, you're not going to pay $16,000 in child care. I mean, if that's what you're doing, then I would just go home. But anyway, I just wanted to do this video to share some gems with you guys. I will be doing more videos. In the meanwhile, if you have some questions or if it's something that I did not clarify with you guys, feel free to drop a comment. Again, go to our page, Exquisite Tax Service, give us a thumbs up, invite your friends over to the page. I do this. This is what I do for my clients. I educate them so that they will not be misled, and they trust my opinion and my thoughts about a situation. So again, give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos. We will be doing more videos on unemployment, amendments, the child tax advance credit. So make sure you give us a thumbs up. Be blessed.